Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Fitz here, and welcome to episode 2 of my review of the Warren Hills Cancun Jazz Festival. In this video, we're going to take a look at what it was like from the airport to the resort and the check-in process. Now, this was my first time flying into Cancun International Airport. And we got off the plane, we go downstairs, so we head through the area to go through immigration, and it was just a mass of people. And we didn't know where to go. There was no real signs that say, go here, go here. We saw numbers 1 through 4 on the wall up there. And so obviously those were lines, but we didn't know which one we're supposed to go into. So we ended up just picking a line and just got in one. It wasn't just us. There was several of us on that flight that was standing around looking, okay, where do we go from here? There was no one to help you. So eventually we just got in a line. We're going to find out they were all the same. So it didn't matter what line you got into. They were all, to get through immigration. And so all the lines were long. And when we finally get to the front, we get to the agent and have our immigration card and passport. And there was a section on there that we didn't fill out. Now, it was a section that appeared to be repetitive. I know we were kind of asking ourselves on the flight, because on the plane they gave you the card, and my wife said, well, do we need to fill this part out? Because this looked to be like something we just filled up in the field above there. And we didn't think we had to fill it out. And we weren't the only ones. So there were several people who had to get out of line. Now, fortunately, we didn't have to go to the back of the line. We got out of line. We had to fill out that last little section on the immigration card, and then just wait till the person who was, checking out with the agent, and then he called us back, and we went in, handed him our card, and filled out, and everything was good from there. But the whole process was a bit confusing.
I was so confused.
So from there, we go and get into our luggage was the next stop. That was fine, no problem there. And we got our luggage, and then the next thing that we did was, and if you go to Warren Hill's wife's Tamara's blog post, she actually gave you the steps on how to get to where your transportation is to the resort. So I want to pull up her blog post and let's kind of walk through that real quick. So here we are. This is on Warren Hill's wife Tamara's blog post that she put together on the Jazz Festival to kind of give you some steps and some tips, things of that nature. The description. In the description below, we'll have the link to this particular blog post, so you can go and check this out. And but let's take a look real quick and let's see what is on there. So here we are on the webpage here on the blog post. And so let's scroll on down to the airport section here. All right, so here we are. Of course, that's Warren Hill at the airport telling you to go through the doors there for ground transportation. And the text says there, says that when you are arriving at the airport, there will be a lot of people bombarding you to get a cab from them. Keep walking and look for the signs that say, come to the most awesome music festival ever. And that is so true, because when you go into the corridors to get to the ground transportation doors to go outside, it is lined with people trying to get you to catch a cab, to sign up for some kind of excursion or a resort or something like that. And they're nice. They're not overly aggressive, but they're just saying, hey, do you need a cab, blah, blah, blah. So you ignore all that and you just head straight to those ground transportation doors that you see here in the picture here from Warren Hills pointing at, and you just head straight out through the double doors, and you want to go outside. And then once you go outside, you're going to have a gentleman who's going to be holding this sign that says, the Cancun Jazz Festival Warren Hill. And I believe it was the exact same guy that we saw when we took this trip in 2019. I believe it's the same guy. Now, when you go outdoors, there's probably about 20 guys holding signs. So it's not like he's out there by himself. And he's a rather, maybe a little 5'7", 5'8", not a real tall guy. Now I'm 6'5", so I was able to spot him in about 5 seconds. But you do have to look past everybody who's holding up signs, because he was about 3 or 4 people deep. So he wasn't up front. He was kind of in the middle back part of the little group area where all these guys are holding signs up. So you have to kind of wade through all of that to get to him, to find him. Now, once you find this guy, he does not have your information. His only job is to direct you to where the van is located or the bus that you're going to catch to the resort. So he doesn't know who you are. He doesn't have your information. He's not holding anything to the reservations. He is just here to say, hey, go to number 23 or whatever number the bus or the van is at. And then from there, that's where you go next. Now that's kind of it in terms of the transportation section that they have on a blog post here. If you want more information about other tips like what to bring, stuff like that, you can read the rest of the blog post. And like I said, I'll have a link to this blog post in the description below. Now, once you know what number the bus and van is located, so you head there. Once you get to that area, there's somebody else with a sign and they have your reservation information. And so that's where they will check you in on their spreadsheet, and they'll take your luggage, put it on the bus or the van. I keep saying bus or van because when we took it, it was a bus. It was a small little bus, but some people took larger ones or vans. So I think they have several different modes of transportation to and from, but us was like a little small little mini type bus. And so they'll put your stuff on the luggage on the back there, and then you'll get on. They'll offer you some water. The water is free, by the way, because they said, hey, you want some water? And I'm thinking, how much is this? And it was free. And so you get on the bus and then you head towards Riviera Maya. Now the trip itself, so the ride from the airport to the resort was pretty uneventful. There's not much to look at. I had my camera all ready to go and thinking I would see some sights, but there's not much to see. It's just a plain ordinary, 45-minute drive to the resort. So just relax on the way down to the resort. Now, once you get to the resort, the first place they're going to take you is to the convention center. So this is where all of the check-ins take place. Actually, when you check in and whenever you check out, it's all done at the convention center. And so when you get there, the first thing that's going to happen is when they say, hey, time to get off, they will automatically take your luggage off for you, and they're going to give you a ticket for your luggage. So for example, we had 3 pieces of luggage. So we got 3 tickets that matched the ticket on our luggage. So we saw him do that. And so because you're going to leave your luggage there, and then you're going to go into the convention center to start the check-in process. So you definitely want to hold on to your tickets. So once you go into the convention center, now last year, 2019, the first place we went into is the Epic Ballroom. And so that's where we start the check-in process. And this is where you check into your room. And so we went in there and gave them our information. Here's our passport. And they took a copy of your passport. And then once everything was confirmed and ready to go, then they gave you a wristband. Now the wristband is your room key. So there's no key card or anything. That wristband is your room key. So the first thing that popped in my head, and I'm sure my wife was wondering the same thing, is this thing waterproof? And do we have to keep it on the whole time? And so the answer to those 2 questions are, yes, it is waterproof. They recommend that you don't take it off, but you can take it off, but they suggest that you leave it on the whole time. And I believe the replacement fee for the wristband was $75, I think, per day. Don't quote me on that. I never did. We didn't lose ours, so we didn't find out what it was to replace it. But it seemed pretty expensive to replace that wristband. So you just hold it up to your door there, and it unlocks. And my wife wasn't too happy about it because she had her little outfits coordinated, and so this wristband did not match her outfit at all. So she wasn't too happy about that. But other than that, it worked fine. So once we left there, so that was the room check-in. Then we went out to the lobby area, and then we checked into the festival. And once again, here's the information. And then they gave you a wristband that matched whatever seats you reserved if you had reserved seating, which was optional. Now, we had reserved seating in the bronze section, and they gave us the gray or silver section wristbands. We're kind of confused by that, because first of all, we didn't know what those bands were for. So they give you these wristbands. We didn't know they're supposed to match the seats you reserved. So later on, we kind of figured that out, but it wasn't a problem. We just went to somebody and said, hey, they gave us this, but this is what I have, because, on your dashboard, you know where your seats are. So we had our emails with us, which is another thing. Whatever emails you have, make sure you have everything on your phone or print it out, whatever you do. I had everything on the phone in one email at the top of my inbox, and I had it flagged. So all the information as it pertains to the trip, we had right there available, ready to show if we had, there's any confusion or any issues at all. We didn't have a problem with the seating, so we just said, hey, yeah, we gave you the wrong one, blah, blah, blah. So it was cool. So once you leave the festival check-in table, and also when you're there, by the way, they give you a gift bag. So the gift bag has let's see here, it has a program like this. So you have a program of the festival. So in here you have all of the artists, you have a map, and you have all of the information, how to get around, who is performing on one particular night. So you get the program in there. There's also a separate map that you also get more detail about the resort. Also, you get a coffee mug. And cool thing is, my wife doesn't drink coffee. I do. So I got 2 coffee mugs out the deal. That's pretty awesome. I think there was like a shot glass in there. So we don't drink. So the shot glass, we just left at the hotel room. And they get some other stuff in there. So you get a gift bag, and that was nice. So once you get done with the festival check-in, then you go down the hall to get your t-shirt. So for those of you who have already booked, you know that you give your t-shirt size on the dashboard. Now, here's what I'll say about the t-shirt. I got the extra large. It fit me just fine, but my wife's t-shirt was too big, and so I think her feedback was these are men's sizes. So for the ladies, these appear to be men's sizes because the size she ordered or put on the dashboard was too big. So she went back and swapped it out for a smaller size. So whatever size they have on the website, unless that changes or they make it more clear, I believe those t-shirt sizes are men's sizes. So once you get done getting your t-shirt, your check-in process is done. Also, if you're hungry, there is food right there in the lobby area of the convention center. So you can grab finger-type food, that kind of thing. There are people there, there are staff, so you can order drinks from them. So they'll bring you whatever you want to drink. Of course, this is an all-inclusive hotel resort, which is awesome. So you can get a little something to eat right there if you're hungry. Now, when you're ready to go to your room, you take your tickets back outside, and then they'll match your ticket with what they have for your bag. So that's where you go back and collect your bags. Now, depending on where your room is located, because our room was one of the buildings of one of the outer edges of the resort, so we got a golf cart ride to our hotel room. Now, if your room was right there close to the convention center, you probably could just walk. But so we had to wait for a little while for a golf cart to come, load it up, took us to our room. He got out, carried our bags up the stairs for us, and took us to our room. We tested our little wristbands for the door access, and everything worked out fine. Now, we got to the festival a day early. I believe it started that Thursday on the 23rd. My wife and I decided to get there a day early, so we got there on the 22nd. And part of the reason why, we were trying to avoid any crowd. So I don't know what it was like checking in on the 23rd, but there were no lines. There's quite a few people there, but there were no lines, no delays. Everything went smooth. Everything went great. So huge thumbs up to the check-in process. I mean, from the airport to the resort to checking in, everything went smooth. So that was awesome. Well, that's all I have for you in this particular video. Just wanted to kind of give some details about that airport to the resort, the checking in process. Like I said, it all went really well for us. In the next video, we're going to take a look at the Hard Rock Riviera Maya Hotel. So we're going to break down some of that and let you know what that experience was like, just the hotel itself. Well, anyway, this is Fitz. Thank you so much for joining and watching this particular video on my review of Warren Hill's Cancun Jazz Festival. If you found it to be helpful, I appreciate giving a thumbs up. Also, if you want to be notified the next time I upload a video, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and then hit the notifications bell. And next time I upload the next video, you will be notified. Anyway, this is Fitz. Peace.